So we're actually excited to show this. This is our brand new, we call it our TM series collaborative robot. The collaborative robot is actually designed to work side by side with people, hence the word collaborative. It's almost like, I'd like to say almost like a super power tool or another set of hands. So you'll notice that it's very deliberate in how it moves. We like to kind of make sure that we're pretty cautious on how fast that is going. So it will actually move faster, but it won't move as fast as some of the ones that you see that are inside the cage, if you will. And so it's, we make a lot of different robots that get applied to a lot of different types of applications. So it depends. If you want something that's super fast, you might choose one of the other ones. If you want something that's easy to move around and to use in a lot of different tasks and to help someone that's actually working on some assembly, then this might be your best bet. And there you go.
Keith, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, hi, I'm Keith Kersten, like you said. I work for Omron as the marketing communications manager, so I work in marketing, and I'm an engineer, electrical engineer by training, but I work on how we promote and how we do things like the show here itself, is how do we take all these technologies and put them together in a cool way to show people and help to find customers and help to educate customers as well.
How does it detect when there's somebody affecting it? And
So,
how does it not run them over?
That's actually a very good question. So each one of the joints, so if you look at a robot, it's got all these different joints or different axes, if you call it. There's a servo motor inside of there, and that motor can actually sense how much force it's exerting. So it will know to move from point A to point B, it'll know about how much force it should have to exert, and if it runs into something else, it's able to calculate and know, hey, I need to stop because that something else might be a person. So essentially it's the intelligence in the motors and the joints and the software behind it that is able to analyze all of those different joints working together to know if it's exerting too much force or too much speed for that matter.
So this seems like a really big fusion between not only electronics and robotics, but it seems very software heavy. Do you guys have a lot of software people as well?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of calculations that go into motion control. So if we look at that, there's a whole lot of software around developing the algorithms and then also developing the control around the robot and developing the software that other people use to program the robot. There's a lot of software work. And then if you also look at those application engineers I mentioned earlier, the ability to make all these different things work together, that's all different types of software that allows you to be able to make it work together. So we have, we call it a suite of software, or basically an integrated development environment that is able to do almost all of these things in one software, but it's different than the software you might use to design a robot itself. But a lot of it's actually getting a little bit easier because a lot of the algorithms, yes, if you're going to develop the algorithm that says how they should move to make it do this, that's different, the actual motors. But if you look at, like, to program this robot, it's simple flowchart programming. So you're able to actually teach it yourself. So one of the things that you can do, so you'll see right now I press the button, I'm controlling where it's going. So you're able to actually manipulate it, and it's giving just enough resistance to hold it, and then now it's not moving. So you press and release this, and you can manipulate all the joints, and then you can teach it a point. So if all the servos were either locked, it would be like this where you can't move it, or if they were totally disengaged, then it would do nothing. So it's actually helping you as you're doing this. So you can see that the big links are moving, also the smaller ones as well. So there's even programming and technology that goes into making that work smoothly, making it easier for you to move it around. Much like the pick and place, there's cameras that are integrated that locate the parts that are on the conveyor. So it's able to do inspection. It's also able to identify which parts and then also where they are so that the robot can know where to go to pick it up. This also uses vision guidance to be able to locate and pick things up and do some inspections or read codes. So it's not just the robot itself, but it's the integration with the vision that makes it easy to set up and to make it a lot more flexible in the different things that it can do.
And if I'm not mistaken, that vision sensor is what detected that my hand was there so that it dropped the tin into my hand.
Exactly. It was waiting to see your hand, and once it saw it, then it dropped it.
So you have a lot of different types of engineers. How would somebody get into Omron? How would they even start the communication process?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's the normal way as far as when we do our hiring and looking to hire people, whether they're coming to our website or we'll do recruiting at job fairs. But we actually do a lot with schools and universities, colleges. So we have an internship program where we will go and we will recruit and try to get some interns that will be put on some really cool special projects over the summer. And then we also have a new hire engineer program where we will take new hires out of college and they get to work in a lot of different areas. We talked about application engineering, we talked about sales and marketing and all of those different things. They can get a really broad experience and work with a lot of different people in the organization to figure out where they might fit and what they might want to do.
So how would people find out about these programs?
Best way to do would go to omron247.com, and there you can look at the careers section and you can take a look and see what's interesting. And then also we're pretty active on LinkedIn as well.